For me, it's like coming back to see my family, coming to Eugene, Oregon, and see all the coaches and people from USA Track and Field. And when Terry sent me a message that they were recognizing Joe at this competition, this national championship, I thought, Terry, I will be there. I have a championship going on in Central America, but then I have a representative from NACA there. And I came here. I've been the president of NACA for 2 years. Was elected in Moscow after the late Neville McCook passed away from Jamaica. And it's an honor for me to be the president and a member of the IAAF Council and chairman of the IAAF Coaches Commission, where Terry is one of the members. So I wouldn't miss this for anything. And my wife, Evelyn, who is with me all the time.
Hi, Evelyn.
Also,
Thank God.
So part of the family. So our Constitution gives us the right to develop awards and recognize people that have a long career in any way of serving athletics, track and field, officials, coaches, leaders, and so forth. And I have become the first president of NACA to develop this honor of recognizing past mentors or people have gave so much to athletics. So we design and we have a Medal of Merit, and Joe, you will be the first one in receiving this in the NACA. Vigil, USA, 2015 IAAF NACA Continental Area, legendary coach, Joe Vigil.
Unbelievable athletes. But one of the things that has really set Joe apart from them is that from the very beginning, he's been willing to share his knowledge and expertise with other coaches. Joe Vigil was coaching education before there was coaching education. He was instrumental in starting our own USATF coach certification program, and I'm quite sure that he has spoken at more track clinics than any coach of his stature across the board. So this is not only an opportunity to recognize Joe, but also thank him for all he's done to enhance the expertise of coaches throughout the United States and around the world, really. He's coached thousands of elite athletes, but he's mentored tens of thousands of coaches who in turn have enhanced the performances of hundreds of thousands of athletes.
Yeah, there you go.
And that's really some accomplishments. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
When I was a senior in high school at Marietta Valley, he would come down and just give little clinics to our high school team, and my high school coach actually ran for Coach Vigil down in at Adams State. Tim saw, and he planted a seed. He said, this coach from Adams State, my college coach, Dr. Joe Vigil, he's just the greatest coach in the world, and he planted that seed. And every year he just, when I went off to college, he just sprinkle it and water it. And I mean, once I graduated from college, I had met Brenda, and that's when
it's getting nice and cool out here.
We were looking for a coach, and Brenda asked me, what coach should I run for? And I contacted Coach Vigil, and because to me he was the world's greatest coach.
Fantastic. And then he's also inspired you to actually coach, and you're doing great jobs in coaching now. What has that done for you, your aspirations in coaching?
So, we asked Coach for help because Brenda and I got turned away from a couple of elite training groups, and we had no idea what to do. And I called Coach and I said, Coach, can you help us? Just guide us in the right direction. And Coach said, give me a couple days. I'll call you back. And it was about 3 days later, he called me back and he said, Carlos, before I'm a coach, I'm a human being. And if 2 people ask me for help, I'm going to help them. He's like, I will coach, Brenda. You know, and at the time, Coach wasn't helping anybody, and it was just amazing. It just shocked us that he would help us, you know, and ever since, I mean, everything's been amazing, and he stuck his neck out for us, and I feel like now that he's teaching me all this, you know, I mean, he's the world's greatest coach. He's taught me so much that I want to give back, and I want to help, you know, athletes, and I mean, I just think it's so fun being able to change someone's life when they give you their full trust, and you give them their trust, and I mean, big things happen.
Fantastic. Carlos, thank you so much for your time. Coach, how are you today?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Hey, we're on a special day today, a really important event. Can you tell me a little bit about, you actually have a tremendous amount of knowledge about Coach.
Yeah, you know, I've known Coach for 30-some years now, and probably a little unique experiences with him, you know, being that he was my mentor, and having the opportunity to, you know, follow him at Adams State, and for him to mentor me as a young coach was just tremendous. And so I think probably have a great unique perspective of some of the things that he's done, you know, at least over the last 30 years of his life.
You've done a great job of keeping the family impact from Coach Vigil to your new family, which is basically one big family at Adams State.
Yeah, I think that's a unique thing, you know. Not many programs have the opportunity to continue the success, and so that's been pretty fun.
Yeah, you're well suited to speak globally about Coach Vigil. You've seen a tremendous amount of things that have happened. His contribution to running.
Yeah, so you know, I think that probably the longer you're in this sport, you realize that running is a world into itself, and it's a small world. I think when you have people like Coach Vigil that have had the opportunity to go and speak globally, you know, on different continents and different countries, and make the impact that he's made. Even in our tiny little world of Alamosa, we've had people like Dr. Ilma Berta, and you know, some of the great coaches from around the world, whether it be Japan or Italy or Ireland or whatever. And so you start to realize that you know, Coach has been around the world and has rubbed elbows with some of the greatest coaches, the greatest minds, physiologists, and he's really brought a lot of that and brought it in a way that coaches can use that information. And I think, you know, his knowledge is just phenomenal. And so I think that when you realize that one person has been able to do that and package it and teach it in certain ways, it really gives the coaches that he's influenced a leg up, you know.
Fantastic. Well, I thank you so much for what you're doing as well. And thank you for taking this moment to just speak about Coach Vigil on a special day. Hi, we're with Pat Mogaris, one of Coach Vigil's ex-athletes and also a great friend. And can you please tell us how you got to Alamosa?
Yeah, well, I was born in Alamosa, and so I have this history with Coach Vigil where we grew up, well, in town. We were born in towns that were 20 miles apart. But Coach Vigil, because I became interested in running, he became the kind of a mentor to me even before I ran for him. And so even growing up, I just admired Coach Vigil. Well, getting to see and work with Coach Vigil for 4 years at Adams State College was the thrill of my life, because he's truly the man that he preaches about. He's truly the man, day by day, man of character, man of values, and you know what he talks about, he lives. And so that became so obvious and so ingrained in a lot of the runners. So I'm privileged to be Coach's friend.
Fantastic. And then what do you remember most out of your experience with Coach?
2:30 p.m. in Plocky Hall. And anybody who's ever run for Coach Vigil knows what I mean, because you were at team meeting at 2:30 p.m. in Plocky Hall, and it was fire and brimstone. People know Newt Rockney. Well, I know Coach Joe Vigil. Fire and brimstone. You just, you know, you run through a brick wall with Coach Vigil. And you know, it's really that kind of energy that he gave to his runners and gave to everybody he came across that was the reason why you were able to, ordinary people were able to do extraordinary things. You know, and it sounds a little cliche, but really, You know, the types of runners that Coach Vigil had over the years were ordinary guys. 430 milers in high school became national champions. And Pat Porter is the most obvious of those, but there's many, many guys who did remarkable things after being maybe average high school runners. And we succeeded because of Coach Vigil's energy. And it hasn't changed even though he's 85 years old now. He's the same guy that he was when he was 40 years old, 50 years old. Just a remarkable person.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Welcome.
Okay, Steve, you've known Coach Vigil for a long time. Can you please tell us how you both met?
We met when I was on the board of directors of Athletics Congress, predecessor of course to USA Track and Field, as was Joe. And there were some changes occurring that I don't want to dwell on, but he and I took a position that was different than some. And as he said one day, we were in the foxhole together. It's easy to develop very quickly once you know somebody like Joe, I respect. And I said, this is an unusual resource for our sport. I have something that I've lived by. Dad gave it to me. It says you do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. You don't worry about how the outcome. The outcome will take care of itself. Just do the right thing. Joe doesn't say that, he just lives it. When he's coaching, without taking remuneration, he wants to give back to the sport. Not give back. He wants to advance it. He sees things that have been lost and need to be regained. And if he does something because he's earned the credibility over the years, it's going to be accepted. And we have to keep this treasure for our sport healthy and going. He's not going to slow down. His wife will probably tell him to slow down. But then started calling him when we were making some changes to the Boulder to the pro race. And he was helping us recruit Americans. And we went through a time where distance running in America waned. And he was pretty concerned about it, and it helped, of course, help revive it. In fact, has a great responsibility in it, and had some formats that I was interested in him thinking about and helping us with on the competition of the pro race for Americans, and said we were committed to keeping it, not doing what many other races have done, which is give up the competition and award American prize money only, or award automatic prize money for Americans. Boulder, you have to earn it. We have a bonus structure that we've had from the start, where Americans get bonuses based on performance. So if you don't earn any base money, you don't get the bonus. And Joe likes that. Said you don't get paid. He said you don't go to the bank before you go to a race.
Thank everybody that made the effort to come up here and share this moment with my wife and I. Where's Carolyn?
Carolyn. She left.
Everything that I am is because of her.
That's true.
No. That's not amen.
She's been my supporting crutch, my inspiration, and always kicks me in the ass to get going. And I want to thank all of you. I want to thank USATF, the IAF, and all the athletes that have run for me, or the ones I've had coached by in coaching schools. It's been a great honor, and I'm not done yet.
Yay!